Hello, and welcome to Managing GS Troop Finances. My name is Connie, and I'll be your coach throughout this mini course. This course takes approximately 15 minutes to complete. Please take a moment to review the navigation instructions to make getting around easier for you. This course is designed to teach a GS volunteer the basics about managing GS Troop finances, from opening the bank account to the financial report due at the end of each year. It includes helpful hints on how to involve the girls in the management of their troop's funds, and tips on where to go to find more information. You can click on the printer icon to download the participant guide to print or save on your computer. Also, please feel free to take notes, and should you have any questions about the content covered in this course, contact Connie the Coach at ccoach@gsnetx.org. Our objectives are listed here. Take a moment to read through them. Is there anything we've missed? Okay, let's get started. One way a parent or guardian could participate in the troop leadership is to be a GS Troop treasurer. This volunteer would be the person who can sign checks on the troop bank account. Also, the volunteer can assist girls of an appropriate age to report to the other troop members about GS Troop finances and help all the girls to learn about financial responsibility. The signers of all GS bank accounts will be reported on eBiz as the treasurer. All of the information I'm about to tell you is on the form, so you don't need to write it down, but here is a quick overview. To open or change the signer or bank information on a GS Troop bank account, first, 2 non-related adult Girl Scout members should complete or update their volunteer security status. Both volunteers must be able to handle finances and have current GS membership. Second, find a bank that has little or no fee for a nonprofit account and get the name, email address, and phone number for someone at that financial institution. And third, once the volunteers are approved, a letter authorizing you to open or change the account will be sent to your chosen financial institution within 2 business days. The person in the GS Troop Treasure volunteer position should be good with numbers and organized. The requirements can be found on the GS Troop Treasure position description form shown here. This form can be found at gsnetx.org/forms. The treasurer will need to work with the girls occasionally as they mature and take on more leadership with the planning, budgeting, and managing of their troop funds. Girls in the 4th and 5th grades, juniors, should begin to learn details about their GS Troop bank account and, with the treasurer's guidance, begin making regular reports to the troop about their finances. At the beginning of each year, a GS Troop should plan their year, and part of that plan should include a budget. In order for girls in the troop to learn leadership, they must play a role in budgeting. Even daisies can make choices. By making a choice, the planning for the troop becomes theirs. Making choices instills confidence in the girls and is one of their first steps to leadership. Involve the girls as appropriate in estimating expenses. Girls finding out for themselves the cost of things will help them make choices about which activities they want to do. Parents must be considered in estimating the income. Teaching girls to consider every girl in the troop will help them become closer connected to each other. Girls and their parents and guardians should be involved in decisions regarding girl money-earning activities planned, in addition to the council-sponsored cookie program. Teaching them to write down their plan gives them a good example to follow when they have their own funds to manage. Lastly, making choices as a group helps them to learn how to apply the Girl Scout law, being considerate and caring. There are a few things the troop volunteers should know about that will help in the budgeting process. You should be aware when registering girls that there is financial assistance to cover many things for girls. The form shown here is only for girl membership financial assistance. This form should be turned in with a girl membership form and must be signed by a parent or guardian. Other financial assistance for girls may be requested, such as event costs, troop camping costs, and uniform and program books costs. Some financial assistance is available for adult volunteers, such as adult membership and training costs. Volunteers must be serving in troop leadership or troop cookie manager positions to be eligible. In order for a troop to participate in additional girl money-earning activities, the troop is required to have participated in the most recent cookie program. Participation in the cookie program will strengthen the girls' financial literacy skills. Additionally, the low-risk activity approval must be completed and be signed by a designated GS Service Unit team member prior to the activity. Before planning girl money-earning activities, be sure to consult Volunteer Essentials, Chapter 5, Managing Group Finances at gsnetx.org/volunteer essentials for important information that will help you when working with girls at different program grade levels and keeping the right balance between money-earning activities and other girl activities. In addition, review the GS-NetX Volunteer Policies and Procedures, Section 19, Girl Scout Troop Money Earning Activities. Include the cookie business and financial literacy badges for all program grade levels in any girl planning discussions about girl money earning activities. Once the annual plan for activities and budget is created, accurate troop records should be maintained, including financial information. Keeping accurate GS troop or group records is an important part of maintaining good relationships with girls and the parents and guardians of girls in the group. Remember, the funds belong to the group of girls, not any one individual, and most importantly, not the adults. Because the funds belong to the group of girls, they are the ones who should play an integral part in decisions of how to earn and spend the funds. Parents and guardians guide the girls in their decisions. So that both the girls and their parent or guardians can participate appropriately, they must have knowledge about the status of the troop's funds. Accurate and timely kept records allow the troop treasurer, an adult who volunteers in that role, as well as any girls in the leadership role, to report properly to other members. A complete record of all financial transactions, as well as copies of receipts, should be kept. All records must be made available to all members and their parents and guardians. The troop or group meeting plans should include times at appropriate intervals during meetings when some type of financial report is shared. The girls, or in the case of daisies and maybe brownies, their parents or guardians can decide how often this is. According to GS-NetX Volunteer Policies and Procedures, the financial status must be reported to the troop members 3 times annually. One of these reports should include a copy of the annual troop financial report. The format of the other reports can be defined by the treasurer. It should show the details of all expenses and income to the troop. It is important that it not reflect individual girl finances in such a way as to embarrass a girl or her family. A form that can be used for keeping records is the detailed cash record form found at gsnetx.org/forms. Although this form is a good tool, this form is not required. A GS troop treasurer or girls of an appropriate grade level could create their own form or even a spreadsheet. In addition to detailed written accounting of the finances, there are a few other processes that, when followed, will allow the troop to be able to work well together. It is very important to communicate clearly information about reimbursement for expenses incurred to all troop volunteers. In order for expenses incurred by a volunteer to be reimbursed from GS troop funds, the expenses should not include state sales tax, Texas, should not include mileage, must be approved in advance, and must be directly related to a troop activity. To get reimbursement, the volunteer should take these steps. Get pre-approval. Have a record of this to document the process. An email should be sufficient. Submit the final request with the pre-approval documentation and copies of all receipts within 30 days of the date the expense is incurred or the date of the event. The form should include the name of the vendor, store, or other location, the purpose of the expense, the date the purchase was made, and a detail of the itemized amounts to be reimbursed. Always take extreme care when exchanging funds between GS Troop members. When girls are old enough to help with recording troop dues, they should model this behavior. Use a receipt book or other way to document when someone is turning in money. A generic form like the one shown or a handwritten one on blank paper can be used. It should include the date of the transaction, the name of the person from whom the funds were received, and other contact information such as an address, email address, or phone number, the amount, what the funds were received for, and the name of the person who received the funds. The sales tax exemption form provided by GS NetX allows the troop to avoid paying state and local sales taxes, which are not reimbursable. A new copy of this form should be downloaded annually to reflect the current date for the signature. Lastly, it is required that each troop complete an annual troop financial report. The annual troop financial report can be used to determine how to categorize transactions when keeping records. Income categories include GS USA membership dues, GS troop dues, activity or event fees paid to the troop, Girl Scout cookie proceeds, other money-earning projects, and other income, such as donations, etc. Expense categories include GS USA membership dues, activity or event fees paid by the troop, trips such as camping, etc., recognitions or awards, GS troop or group supplies, and donations. Please note that there is a back page of the Troop Financial Report form not shown here. Additional information is requested on the back page about some of the income and expense amounts. Also, there is room on the back page for comments. It is very important that no troop funds ever be mingled with personal funds. Borrowing from GS troop funds is specifically against the policies of Girl Scouts of Northeast Texas. This practice almost always leads to mishandled funds. For more information, please consult Volunteer Essentials, Chapter 5, Managing Group Finances, found at gsnetx.org/volunteer essentials and GS NetX Volunteer Policies 18. Girl Scout Troop or Group Finances, found at gsnetx.org/volunteer policies. A great tool that makes it easier to comply with the annual reporting requirement is the online GS Troop Financial Report. The paper form is still a valid form to use when submitting the annual troop financial data. However, the process takes much longer and is much less secure. One copy of either the paper form or the report from the online form should be kept by the GS Troop leader or treasurer, along with copies of receipts and bank statements for at least 3 years. When submitting the paper form, 2 copies of the report should be submitted to the appropriate SU team member by the deadline designated by the SU manager. The service unit must have all reports turned in to their membership specialist by June 15th. Congratulations! You have completed the mini-course Managing the GS Troop Finances. Have we met our objectives? You should now feel reasonably confident about opening or updating the information for a GS bank account, working with the GS Troop members to budget the troop finances, where to find policies, procedures, and resources about girl money earning, ways to work with the GS Troop members to keep records of troop finances, how to meet the requirement to report the troop finances. Feel free to share this mini-course with others or come back and take it again for a refresher. Have more questions? Please feel free to contact Connie the Coach at ccoach@gsnetx.org.